Good morning to you all. I know it's been a minute. I never promised to be a social network celebrity or star or anything like that. Said right from the gate that I'm not really real savvy or high on this idea. I just want to impart what I can to help others when and where I can. So, you know, that would explain the length between my last post and this. I really do intend and try to do better, at least once a month, if not twice a month. But, it's difficult at times to talk about things that I have in my mind. you know, uh, what I'd like to talk about today is, I've been out 9 months now, and one of the most apparent things that I notice out here, most immediate, is the lack of individuals to adhere to any bond to their word. Uh, People dismiss uh, the value of adhering to one's word as easily as they take a drink of water. Uh, I find more and more out here that somebody adhering to their word is a matter of convenience, not honor. Uh, Everybody says, "Hey, we're not all you." Well, I'm not all me. I mean, there's nothing great about me. I mean, you know, 50, 60 years ago, I was the norm. People, man, shook your hand, promised you something, or said he'd do something. He did it. You know, uh, and that's the way I was brought up, and it's the way I live my life. And it's not anything in particular. Uh, the lesson here is just that, not that I'm anybody, that anybody should be concerned with wanting to, impress or, you know, give a rat's ass what I think of you. But I mean, if you are concerned with what a man such as I or any other may think of you, uh, then you got to honor your word. It's pretty simple. If you tell somebody you'll do something and then you decide, I wish I wouldn't have done that, well, you do it, and the next time you think about that lesson so you don't give your word so easily the next time. But nevertheless, a man devoid of his word is useless to every man of honor except for in a disposable capacity, a utility capacity. That's not the kind of person you want to be. That's not the kind of people I want to associate with. I don't associate with many people as it is anyhow. You know, uh, no matter what we were doing yesterday, we get up today. The day is new. It's a fresh day. Like I say, like I like to say, it's pregnant with opportunity. Okay. Well, the opportunity which is forefront now is the opportunity to go and correct things that were maladaptive yesterday. Not that you're going to fix anything overnight, but I mean, you can take a step today to correct whatever pernicious thinking you were directly or inadvertently embracing yesterday. In other words, you can sit there today and you can say, "Hey, today's the day I'm going to start. I'm going to start doing what I say I'll do." And first and foremost, before to anybody else, to yourself. To yourself. I told myself, or I thought to myself, which is the same thing as telling yourself, that I would start doing this. Today's the day to start doing that. Do that today. Start today. You know, um, One foot in front of the other, and before you know it, it becomes habitual. Like a bad habit, a good habit is learned as well. It's cultivated, and it becomes an ethic. You know, uh, as though bad habits become ethics as well. Not the kind of ethics you want to espouse, but I try not to be a hypocrite considering my former lifestyle, but I don't live that life today. And no matter what. no matter what lifestyle I was living. If I told somebody I'd do something, people could always depend on me. They could make book on that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I told you the sun wasn't going to come up tomorrow, people that knew me well, I don't know how he knows. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know what the hell's going on his, but he says the sun ain't coming up tomorrow. The sun ain't coming up tomorrow. Not that I'd ever say such a, absurd thing, but I mean, that was the power of my word. You know, I mean, I some of my best compliments from foes of mine that weren't even friends, didn't even like me, would say, hey, I say one thing about the guy, he gives his word on something. He tells you he'll do something, he's going to do it. So, that's an important thing to somebody like me. I'm an alpha male. You know, uh, I consider other men that consider themselves alpha males and women who consider themselves, alpha females. That any kind of a person doesn't even have to be alpha. Just if you say you're going to do something, you do it. If you don't, then you may be a real nice guy or gal, but that's all you are. You know, it's like having a physician who's got a friendly bedside manner, but he's just really failing you in matters of health. Who gives a shit if he's got a bedside manner that's friendly and nice as all outdoors? I don't give a shit about that. You be direct and curt as you want. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Just make sure what you're doing is correct in addressing my health issues. That's what I look at. So it's the same kind of principle. Um, I get a lot of requests. I read these things. I read these comments that I get. I don't respond to them, as you'll notice. Very seldom will I respond to something. I don't respond to them because, I let the haters just spin their wheels. I don't dignify that kind of crap. And as far as the positive ones, I appreciate those. But it's like, I don't have time to answer all this stuff. I'm living a life out here. I'm trying to catch up with my life. 9 months later, I'm still finding myself getting up at 4 in the morning and going to sleep about 11 at night. That's a short day. It sounds stupid, but it's a short day. I used to while away for decades in a prison cage thinking, hey, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. You get out here and that's just not realistic. The day is short. No matter how long it is for you, it's really short. You don't ever have enough time. I never have enough time to fit in everything on my agenda that I put up for myself. So I have to prioritize. But I do read your comments. I pay attention to them. I've got thick skin, so I'm not really insulted by a lot of the, drama crap. But I do take what people say to heart. I heed it, if it's positive, and I take criticism, positively. I don't, begrudge anybody for telling me what they think. But if you don't know me and you don't know what I'm, about or the way I walk and the way I live my life and adhere to my ethics and my morality code, then you really don't know me. So you shouldn't be offering an opinion anyhow. But you're free to do that. You know. So. I don't answer these things, but I do read them. I don't want anybody to feel spurned because I'm not answering your mail. I'm not answering anybody's mail. I don't accept people on my Facebook page unless I personally know them. So don't be put off by my decline of your request if you're requesting because I don't have a Facebook page that's public. It's public. It's for friends and family, and anybody can see what I post on there that can see it. But I don't. I'm not looking for hundreds or thousands of friends. It's not a social thing to me, and I'm not going to be used as a social blue chip just to add another notch on somebody's page to have another friend. It's not that kind of a situation for me. I use this as a tool. And, one of the best things I say about being out here is every day I get up and I draw air. I go outside with my dog and, I drink my coffee. And, I'm just so grateful. I'm so appreciative. Not just for the opportunity to be free and have regain my liberty. I'm grateful for the opportunity to change the maladaptive thinking that I had embraced for so long. Even after I didn't really embrace it or espouse it anymore, I just strung along with it because it was convenient. And as a conservative thinking individual, nobody who's conservative really likes to embrace change. I mean, they tell you you're moving from one cell to another. You put up arrears. It's like, what do you mean I'm moving? And nobody likes change that's institutionalized, and I'm trying to break those habits all the time. Trying to refine myself, refine my thinking, so I'm not institutionalized in the way I approach life out here. Um, Still looking for work. Not an easy thing. I only want some part-time work, and my health is getting better. From what it was. I mean, I left. I don't know how it happened, how it worked, but I went to started going to the VA system, and they've been taking real good care of me. And I came out here with end-stage liver disease 9 months ago, stage 4 cirrhosis of the liver. And now I'm stage 1. So my liver has healed itself through proper diet and exercise, and obviously freedom agrees with me. Who'd have thunk, huh? So I'm just trying to do the right thing out here, and wherever I can make a difference in somebody's life in a positive manner, that's what I desire to do. I truly do. And I have thus far avoided any theological perspectives in doing these posts right here, these new ones, because I'd like to reach to as broad of audiences as possible. I really don't care who you are, what your walk of life is, what your religious faith is. If you've got issues like I once did, and I can help, assuage them, then I would like to do that. I would like to be, a contributor to that. So, however, that said, I am first and foremost a fundamental Odinist and a holy man, a cleric at that. So, and I do operate an outreach ministry, and so I do like to provide wisdom from the have 'em all and from the teachings of my faith, as it does anybody, without being overbearing or proselytizing. So in that line, the have 'em all teaches us that there's no man who is so good he's without fault, nor none who's so fraught with fault that he has no good intentions or qualities within him. I believe that's true. I've met a lot of good people out here since I've been out. A lot of good people, more so than not. And everybody told me how much the world had changed, and yeah, it's changed. Of course, it's changed. I mean, I got cell phones and computers that they didn't have when I went away. Still trying to figure that one out. It's not not as easy as it appears on TV when you're locked up, or everything is lickety split. I mean, you got to realize everything's being done in the scope of a 1-hour show or a 2-hour movie, and so it's all got to fit in context of what it is and really quick. And you get out here and you realize it just doesn't really work that way. It's not like that at all. So that was a reality check. I'm still figuring out the phone and the computer. Another thing I'd like to address is, you get these comments. People want to ask things about people. Hey, what do you think about this guy? What do you think about this guy? Is this guy for real? Is that guy for real? This guy says you weren't this or you weren't that. Who cares? I'm not a has-been. All that shit's has-been. That's has-been. That's yesterday. I'm a now. I'm a today. I'm right here in your face right now. I'm today. I'm not a has-been. People can say whatever they want, Good for them. They can be as relevant as they want, have their moment in the sun. I don't care. As far as asking about this guy or that guy, I'm not gonna chime in on that either. I'm not trying to be somebody relevant like these narcissistic assholes. I'm just trying to do something right here. I spent a lot of my life hurting people. Directly, and a lot of more people than I ever even knew indirectly, and I just wanna fix that. Make no mistake about it. If somebody comes at me or mine, I'm gonna do everything I can to terminate that threat with prejudice. But I would rather be a nice guy and a friendly guy, and I'd rather be a good neighbor and gosh, dare I say, for the first time in my adult life, a citizen. I voted for the first time a week or two ago. And and can you believe this? I got a jury summons day before yesterday in the mail. Of course, I was able to disqualify from that because I'm on parole still. So, but I mean, just the idea, I got a jury summons. I mean, it's like a real citizen. I never would have thought I would got the biggest kick out of that because but I did. I mean, just the idea that hey, I'm living like a normal Joe. Uh, it is difficult at times to think that I lived sometimes like a king and sometimes like a pauper. What I mean to say is, when I lived an organized crime lifestyle, I had months where I'd make more money than most honest people will make in their whole year of income. And I would spend it as easy as I'd make it. I mean, it was nothing to go out in a 72-hour period and drop 10 to 20 grand, like it was nothing. Other times, I mean, I would literally have to decide, am I going to smoke this cigar or am I going to eat? I mean, am I going to crash at a friend's house or am I going to just go stay the night in a park? Because it was a very, despite Hollywood TV and movies and whatnot, it's a very hand-to-mouth existence. You're with a crew that's earning good or something like that, and you're earning good. I mean, things are good. When they're not, and the heat is on, I mean, it's very hard life, Nowadays, living an honest life, you accrue debt, you pay bills like everybody else, you get credit cards, which I never had before because I was a cash in hand kind of guy. I'm learning to live a normal life, to pay bills with digitally, and just pay bills period that aren't with cash. I mean, I used to just go down to the utility places and I'd pay in cash. Everything I bought was in cash. To me, cash was king. And when I got paid for something, it was in cash, or diamonds, or gold. Something that was liquidable. That could be liquidated on a dime for the same value. Now I'm like everybody else. I mean, money matters, and I hear people complaining about a $10,000 debt. Their debts are like 10 grand, 11 grand, and I would have laughed at that. Not in a malicious way, but I would have laughed at that. 35 years ago, 30 years ago. Now it's not. It's no laughing matter. I mean, that's real money to honest, hardworking people. And now I'm an honest person. And it's like, that's a real thing right there. It's hard to wrap your mind around that when you used to be able to just go out and make that in an hour or so. So, I'm waking up to a lot of realities out here, a lot of struggles. I've I've mistook a few people that I thought were, coming up on me or pressing up on me, and I got real aggressive real quick. And I mean, just run toward it. I don't run away from it. I run toward it. It's just a natural instinct to close the gap. You know. Uh, so it's like to deal with whatever. And it's like I'm learning to deal with things like that, like a normal human being. And you know, uh, 9 months out, life is good. I'm so happy to be out here and have the opportunity to um, change who I was. Well, I can't change who I was, but change who I am today. It's like I said, it's not what you did yesterday. Good or bad. Whoever you made yourself into, whoever you were, it's not what you did yesterday. It's what you're doing today, and more so what you're willing to do tomorrow. So for me, that translates simply to, I'm glad for the opportunity before I leave this mortal coil to make a difference in some positive fashion, to where when I am God and the gods gather me up to them, that people don't say, hey, do you know who that guy was? Or do you know what he used to be? Or do you know what he used to do? And I don't want that. I want them to say, instead of the has-been stuff, hey, do you know what that guy was doing out here? You know the difference he was making? You know what he was doing? Uh, he was genuinely trying to help other people. You know, he genuinely did help other people. And you know what? He was a good neighbor. He was a good citizen. He was a good friend. He was a good man, a good husband. You know, a good grandfather. I don't want my grandkids. I got like 14 grandkids. You know, from between the ages of 2 and 25. I don't want them to sit there and think to themselves, "Oh yeah, I'm embarrassed when people ask, isn't that your grandpa?" I want to say, "Yeah, that's my grandpa, and yeah, he made mistakes, but look what he's doing now. Check out what he's doing now, not what he used to do." And I went to a funeral 2 weeks ago of a woman. I didn't know her. I knew her mom, and she was 39 years old. She died from skin cancer. It's terrible. She was a teacher. She touched a lot of students' lives. There were students there that paying their last respects. But it was such a sad thing to watch her and her husband bury their daughter. And I thought to myself, the testament of the people that showed up to this funeral for this normal woman. I thought I should be so lucky that people like that would show up and give a shit, that I was gone, that I had left this world. You know, that's what matters. Um, to leave this life behind, having contributed something, not taking from it, not just being a taker. I used to think, people who can't fucking think like that, just take this world is my oyster for me to take from, fuck all the weak-minded fuckers, and it's like, you know what, they're just too weak to fucking take. Anybody who says violence never solved anything wasn't fucking tough enough to fucking exert violence to get what they wanted. Anybody who said fucking there's no quick ways just didn't have the balls to fucking go and fucking put a gun in their hand, go do this and that. I look at that and I think, to me, that was some kind of normal thinking and some semblance of my ideology, my thought process. I thought that was normal somehow. And, it'd be easy just to write that off as emotional immaturity, but it's so much more than that. Somehow, I left the good teachings of my mother and father for that. And it is not normal thinking, it's abnormal thinking. It's not strength. I mean, it's not weakness necessarily either, but it's a weakness to say that, hey, I'm going to get up and go do this, risk my life and limb and liberty, to make money instead of fucking go and risk my sweat on my brow and my back and my tired muscles by getting up and going to work every morning for 8 or 9 or 10 hours, That's something else. That's what real people do. That's what a real man does. I have nothing but respect for people that go out and earn an honest living. I have a whole different perspective. When I walked away from this, being incarcerated, with no hope of ever getting out still at that time, I just wanted to get away from who I was and what I would be doing. When I walked away from that, I was still stuck in a world surrounded by people, some really good people, just incarcerated like myself. Others that all of a sudden my paradigm shifted, changed, like, man, what do I see in this guy? I had one friend who was more than a friend, he was a brother to me, and I loved him till the day he died. But he was quite the burglar, and he used to get such a kick out of some of the things that he would do, and I thought to myself one day when we were talking, I said, hey, don't you see something wrong with that? You're rifling through somebody's sock drawer and their underwear drawer and their personal belongings while they're out hard at work, busting their tail to make the money to pay for this lifestyle that they're living, And you're making light of it. You're mocking it by just breaking into their home while they're gone and rifling through their belongings. You don't see something wrong with that? And much to my surprise, he actually did when I put it that way. He said, I never thought about that. I never thought about a victim or anything. I was doing what I knew how to do. I said, man, that's just a horrible thing to do. I mean, what if that was your wife? What if that was your son who's out there working now? What if that was your mom or dad? I mean, they've been saving up for this or that or whatever, and they've got that there, and you come through the fucking window and you fucking take it from them. How would you feel about that? So a lot changes when you change. It's not always comfortable, and I'll tell you what's really uncomfortable is doing an honest survey of yourself. You go look yourself in the fucking eye in the mirror, and you do an honest survey of who you are, what you're about inside, all of it, good, bad, ugly. If you're still comfortable with that, then hey, God's bless you, friend. I was not comfortable with that anymore. And it was a contradiction to my faith and to the way I was living, and I could no longer be a part of anything like that. And so, you know what? I divorced it. It didn't divorce me. And, you know, I changed the way I'm living my life. And I hope that some way I'm able to affect something positive for somebody else. And I guess it's kind of the pay it forward analogy. Just want to do something right. I'm grateful for the opportunity that I'm out here every day to be able to do that. I wake up and I think, what can I do today to help my neighbor, or, you know, be a good neighbor, or, you know, a good friend, you know. Who can I reach out to today? And, you know, so, you know, that's what I'm doing. That's what I've been doing. I know it's been a month or more since I've last posted. I will try to do better. It's just hard for me to come up with things. I don't have any script. I just come off the cuff with this. And this morning I just felt like, you know, I've been thinking about doing something for the last 3 weeks. That's how long I've been thinking about doing this. It's just taken me this long to get here. So, you know, I'm definitely no celebrity or superstar. You know, I hope I'm helping somebody. I hope that somebody listening to my words gains some kind of solace, some kind of insight, and some kind of peace of mind. You know, I want people to understand, too, that, you know, mental health is real. I voted for more funding into mental health programs in California. Everybody wants to complain after these shootings or after something happens about, you know, why these things happen or mental health. But you know what? Prior to Ronald Reagan defunding on a federal level mental health institutes and, you know, such forth, we didn't have the kind of problems we have today. You know, all these politicians want to talk about everything. I'm going to shame them all right now. They want to talk about how this needs to change and that needs to change. Let me tell you, friends, I'm neither for, you know, forget which side of the gun battle you're on. Guns don't kill people any more than food sitting in the market makes people fat. People have to eat that food to make themselves fat. Somebody has to use a gun for a gun to do harm. Believe me, I know. As somebody who's been shot and has shot people, I know. You know, a gun does not do anything of its own accord. That said, you know, the mental health issues that this nation faces, they're not going away of their own accord. You get these politicians who want to talk gun control, or less gun restriction, less gun restriction, less gun restriction. Hey, they want to talk about the mental health issues, but they don't want to put their money where their mouth is. They have a vote. And they sit on committees. Why don't they put their money where their mouth is and start voting to federally fund and finance mental health institutions so that the mentally ill can get help? You know, I talked to a guy who's got some mental issues. You know, they're not as large as other people's, but still, the guy had sought mental health numerous times. And his buddy, who talked him into it, realizing that he had a mental issue, did the same thing. But he killed himself, not being able to find mental health help, you know. And this guy said he had thought about it actually one night, and he decided he didn't want to die. He just wanted help. I thought, well, that says that you got a little more going on up here. You're a little more sound-minded than you give yourself credit for. But yeah, people shouldn't have to sit there and make decisions like that. People have depression issues. which is a mental health issue. I myself have PTSD and anger issues, which is a mental health deficiency, but I'm getting help for it. Fortunately, I have VA. A lot of people don't have anything, or they have insurance that only covers certain things. If our federal government put their money where their mouth is and invested in quality mental health programs and institutions, again, for the criminally insane, well, we wouldn't have a lot of the issues that we have out there. So when you go to the polls, think about that when you're voting for people, and let them know that, hey, you know what, I ain't voting for you because you're a lying piece of shit who wants to sit there every time something happens, or another school shooting, or another Walmart gets shot up, and you want to talk about mental health, but you don't want to put your money where your mouth is with your vote. Mental health is real. These people are not pariahs. We should not sit there and castigate them. We should be trying to help them. And when somebody says to you, I haven't been doing good, or I haven't been thinking well, don't say, I ain't got time for this in your own mind. Say, oh yeah, that's nice. Don't just talk through them, and don't try to dismiss them. If you want to be a friend, be a friend. You may save a life. You may save a lot of lives and don't even know it. But you may save a life of somebody who you call a friend. So don't be so heavy-handed or high-minded in your thinking. There's a lot wrong with our society today, and it's a very stressful world to live in for a lot of people. Even the best health-minded people with good mental health, it can be very stressful. And everybody's got a breaking point when, like they say, the straw that breaks the camel's back. You just suck it in and blow it out. You suck it in and blow it out, and one day you can't. There's nothing left no room to suck in anymore, and people explode. And these are issues of mental health, and people should have the availability to address them, and not think that it's going to cost them an arm and a leg, or that they can't even get it at all because they don't have the right insurance. Nor should we have to sit there and watch the evening news where somebody goes into a Walmart and takes numerous lives, when all along the mental tales were there, but the money wasn't there to do something about it for law enforcement to be able to take this person to get help, or the family of this person to call somebody to help this person. I'm going to get off the soapbox with that. And I'm going to go back to digressing to what I started with and say, let your word be your bond. No matter how small or how insignificant. I'm not talking about saying, I give you my word. Now, if you just say something, you don't have to shake anybody's hand. You don't have to say, I didn't give him my word. If you tell somebody you'll do something, you say you'll do something. You be that person. You own that. You do it. And if the next time you think, man, I wish I wouldn't have done that, think about that the next time before you open your mouth and give your word. Tell somebody you'll do something. But don't be that idiot that says, hey, yeah, I got your back, or I'll do this, and then you don't do anything. Because you know what? A person whose word is no good, they're no good to anybody except for in a utility capacity. Somebody that you can use for this or that, but you can't count on them, you can't depend on them. So, you can't trust anything that comes out of their mouth, really. And some people don't intend to go back on their word. But, there's an old saying that my mom used to say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So don't be a good intention person. Be a good action person. You say you're going to do something, do it. All right. Well, that's all I got for you today. I hope I was of some help, and just prattling along here. I will try to do this a little bit more. Bear with me. You got ideas about what I should be talking about, or could be talking about, to address things for you. I may not respond to all of them when I do these, but I will look at them, and if they're serious and something I see that I can do, or I have some knowledge or insight about that I can impart some kind of wisdom with, then I will do that. Until then, good mental health to you all, and enjoy the day. It's getting warm out there. The sun is shining, and peace.